Hello, I'm Raina Morgan with iHealthTube. We're visiting with Robert Kowalski, the author of The Blood Pressure Cure. Let's talk about weight management and blood pressure. This is a big issue, isn't it?
Sure is, and it's getting worse all the time, right?
And you have some alternatives to this weight management, but first tell us why it affects negatively.
Well, it's a very simple thing. As our weight goes up, our blood pressure goes up. As our weight comes down, our blood pressure comes down.
Okay.
That's the bottom line. It'll take time. It took time to gain the weight. It'll take time for the weight to go away. I don't think that there's any value in the fad diets where you just peel off 10 pounds or more a week. Because that weight's just going to come right on back. It just doesn't work.
The commercial weight loss industry hooks those people in constantly.
No question about it.
And they lose it and they gain it and they lose it and they gain
there's
it.
always a new weight loss book on the bestseller list of this trick or that trick. Ultimately, it comes down to making some lifestyle changes. And what
Which a lot of people go, ooh.
Yeah, but you know, here... Okay.
You've got some good unique ones, though.
Would you believe that snacking can help you lose weight? What's behind this is research that was done way back in the 60s at Michigan State University. What they had people do is eat one slice of bread 20 minutes before lunch and before dinner. Just a slice of bread. The trick was 20 minutes before dinner. What would happen? They spoiled their appetite. That bread was enough to bring the blood sugar levels up so that they weren't as hungry. Now they sit down to lunch or dinner and they consume less food because they simply don't feel that hunger. Most people don't take the time to let the body signal that you've had enough to eat. If you watch most people eat, you'll see that their fork never leaves their hand. Before the food has been chewed and down the throat, the next forkful is being shoveled in, and it becomes just an unending kind of a process. And you're eating way beyond what it takes the body to raise the levels of blood sugar in order to signal the brain in a little thing called the hypothalamus up here that says, okay, we've had enough food for this meal. Now, by eating that snack, and in the study that was done in the 60s, I find this really funny. They used a slice of white bread, like Wonder Bread. And that's the last thing you'd tell people to do today. Right, there are no nutrients at all. So what's a good preemptive snack? A handful of nuts.
Okay.
That would be about an ounce, ounce and a half of nuts. Those people who do that on a regular basis, that is to say virtually daily, have less incidence of heart disease, heart attack and stroke than people who don't eat nuts, even if the total fat content raises their percentage higher than those who don't. There are benefits to eating the nuts, so you're actually getting two benefits at one time. Have that little handful of nuts 20 minutes before a meal, and when you sit down at the table, once again, you're not as hungry because the blood sugar levels are already starting to go up. It could be a little handful of grapes or some raisins or other dried food. A piece of cheese, low fat, of course.
Of course.
Of course. But many, many things that are good for you, or for that matter, if you're the one preparing that meal, and you're making the salad and you're slicing the tomatoes into the salad, slice a little tomato for yourself, or take one of those carrots that you're making for the vegetable for the evening and eat the carrot. Just munch on it as you're cooking. Now again, the blood sugar levels go up. You're not going to eat as much at dinner.
Well, that's a very clever trick.